We are officially in October, which means it's the monthly wrap-up time. So I'm going to show you guys all the books I read in September and also all the books I want to read in October, because there are not a lot of books. Like, I don't read 15 books a month. I wish I was that type of person, but I'm not, unfortunately. I'm a slow reader. I don't have time. I procrastinate a lot. Like, let's be real with each other. I just can't read 15 books a month. So this is a stack of books that I read and that I want to read. So yeah. I read 4 books in the month of September. 4 books and a little bit with 5th book. I'm not going to count it. I'm going to count it for like October because I'm not even halfway done with it. But I read 4 full books. And it is like, for me, it's a lot. Like, usually I read like 1 or 2 books a month, because sometimes the books I read are bigger. Like, example of this Akatar series, like one book took me like 3 weeks because I just want to enjoy it, you know. Like, I would rather read 3 or 4 books a month, but they're very good. Like, for example, these books, all of them have really good ratings, 3.5 and up. But I would rather read like 3 or 4 books a month and then they're really good than to read like 15 books and like 5 of them are bad or mediocre. No, quality over quantity. That's the mindset here. So let's begin, shall we? So the first book I read and finished, I say finished because in September I was buddy reading The Silent Patient with my fiance's brother's wife, so my sister-in-law, I think. Does it count as sister-in-law? Tell me guys. But I read this with her throughout the whole month of September, so I was reading books at the same time in between. And the first book that I finished was Heartless by Elsie Silver. I already read the first one, which is like right here. Also, this is the first time I film with like all of my books behind me. Tell me if you like it. But yeah, so I read the second book and I loved it so much. I think it was better than the first one. I loved the first one. The first one was so fun and cute and just, you know, it was really entertaining. But this one, something was in it. Elsie Silver put something in it, and I don't know what it is, but she put something in it that made it way more entertaining. For you guys that don't know what this book is about, it's about, I mean, all of the series is about like the Eaton brothers and I think two other characters, but there's just a bunch of, it's like a found family. It's a found family. It's a small town romance for like each of the 5 books. And this book is about Cade Eaton, which is the big brother of the guy that's in there, and he's a single father. He got dumped by his ex-wife and he has a child with that wife, Luke. Luke is the sweetest character I've ever read about in a book. He's so funny. He says the most unexpected things. He's so cute. You never expect what he's going to say. He says the most funny things ever, and he's so adorable. He's like a 5-year-old. He turned 6, but he's like a 5-6-year-old, and he's so cute. And he's such a good character. He's like the comedic relief of the book, kind of. And Cade is like really grumpy, and he needs a nanny, you know, to take care of his son during the summer because he works a lot at the ranch. And Willa is the best friend of the girl in the first book, so we know about her a little bit already. So I was really happy to see her again here. I think she's my favorite character. She's so fun. She's so funny. She's such a strong character. She says stuff that she should keep, you know, in her mouth and not say out loud, but she doesn't care. She doesn't have a filter, and I love her for that. And the romance was just so good. It's a little bit of an age gap. Technically, I think they have like a bit more than 10 years of difference. I'm pretty sure. I think he's 38 and she's 25. It's like 13 years, if my math is good, but it's not a weird age gap. Like, some books have some crazy age gap, and I can't read that. Later on, I finished Powerless, which is the 3rd book in the series, the book right after this one, and I loved it. I really liked it. I think I didn't feel as connected with the characters as I did with the 2 previous books. I don't know if it's because I was reading The Silent Patient at the same time, okay, I don't know. But at the beginning I felt, I'm maybe a little bit less connected, and I felt like everything was going on so fast. I feel like I read this in under a week. And that's what happens when I read books super fast. I don't connect as hard as I do with other books that I take my time to read. Usually I take a week to read a book this thick, and it took less than a week, and it felt like it just happened way too fast. So I don't know. When I was reading more and more the book, I liked it more, and I give it 4 stars. This is about Jasper Gervais, and he is like the adopted brother of like all of the Eden boys. Something happened with his family, and he was homeless, living in a car, and they adopted him on the ranch, and since then they're brothers basically. And they have a cousin as well. Her name is Sloan, and he calls her Sunny. That's so cute. But anyways, they have a cousin, the Eden boys, and she had a crush on this guy since she's like 10 years old, and she had relationships. She got engaged with a man that it was kind of like an arranged marriage. I feel like, because her father's like super wealthy, he has a lot of influence, and he thought that to marry off his daughter with this man would like be good for business, you know. So it wasn't a marriage out of love. And on her wedding day, she didn't want to get married. Like she didn't want to do it. It wasn't a wedding that she loved. Like she's the type of girl that wants, you know, if a really flowy dress. She wants to get married in nature. She wants a gold engagement ring with purple stones. Hence why the color of the book, I think. And she got the exact opposite of that. Her fiance was a douchebag. He was so mean, so disrespectful. He was acting like she was an object, like she was a trophy, exactly. And just Jasper was seeing that, and it made him so mad. And on the wedding day, he cheated on her, so she ran away from him. So Jasper helped her to run away from, you know, the wedding. And no, he didn't cheat on her the day of the wedding. She received a video of him cheating on her, exactly. Like she saw that at the wedding, and someone sent it anonymously. In the book, you find out who sent it, and I was happy that it was this person who sent it. But yeah, so she runs away, and she goes on a road trip with Jasper, and then they fall in love, and just the book goes there. There's some childhood trauma in this book that is discussed about, and I think it was well done. I really like the way it was portrayed. I think it was well done, and I really like this book. It was fun. I give it 4 stars, which is a little bit less than this one, but it was still, I still had a really fun time, so I recommend it. Then after that, the 3rd book I finished in September was The One and Only The Silent Patient. So this book, I have seen that this book was really, really famous on TikTok for years, and people were saying that the plot twist was huge. It is huge. Honestly, it was insane. But the thing is that when I was reading this with, I'm gonna say sister-in-law, it's easier for me to say. When I read this with my sister-in-law, she kind of like predicted what the plot twist would be, and we would talk, you know, to each other about it, about our thoughts, what we thought was gonna happen and everything. So I already knew, like I already had like the idea in the back of my head that maybe it was that. And she was right. But me, if I only read it, because I'm clueless, okay, in books, I'm completely clueless. I never guess anything that's happening. I'm so naive in books. Like I don't imagine what's going to happen. And if I only read this by myself, I know for a fact I would have been slapped in the face by the plot twist, because it was well made. That this was a psychological thriller. Like the author went and played in your brain. It was well made. But because I read it with her and we discussed so much about it, we discussed like all the possibilities and the plot twists, you know, possibilities. So, you know, the ideas at the back of my head and the plot twist ended up being like really similar to that, almost the same. But yeah, I really liked it though. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think it's really good. I recommend it, honestly. It's perfect. It's not a scary book. It's like I said, a psychological thriller something, and yeah, it's really great actually. This book is about a woman. Her name is Alicia, and she shots her husband 5 times in the face. How romantic. But she shot him 5 times in the face. That's not funny, I'm sorry. She doesn't speak a word, nothing, and she is not put into prison because the judges think that something is going on in her head, like she has some mental health issues. So they put her into a psychiatric hospital, and there's this psychotherapist, Theo, his name is. He's the only one that can make her talk, and he's gonna try really hard to make her talk, and it's gonna work at some point. And there's a reason why, and yeah, I didn't expect that. Again, if I read this by myself, this probably would have been like 5 stars, because I would not have expected the plot twist. But anyways, the plot twist was really well made, and I really enjoyed the book. It was really intriguing. I had a really good time sitting down and reading it. So I recommend it. And also like it's really fast paced, like it doesn't feel long at all. The chapters are really short, which is something I love. I was scared that the chapters would be huge, but no, they're like 5-10 pages almost. So yes, 3.5 stars. Then the last book I read in September is a classic. I also challenge myself now to read a classic every month, because I feel like, yes, it's fun to read about little cowboys who fall in love and everything, but I would like to have a more deep kind of reading experience. And I love classics. I think they have something so beautiful to them, and like they're classics for a reason, you know, like they are loved for a reason. I really want to explore them and read more about them. So I read a classic this month, and it was Persuasion by Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen. I know I do, because I've read Pride and Prejudice by her, and I have read Sense and Sensibility. I think I've read both of them in French, my native language. This one is also in French. The title doesn't change, it's Persuasion. But this edition is so cute. Look at this. I love this edition. I already made a video about my collector editions of French books. It's up there on my channel, so I invite you to watch it. It's in French, but there are like some English subtitles, so you'll be fine. But this edition is so adorable. It's like I felt so smart to read this in public with my little tiny book. Like, look at the difference. It's upside down, but like, it's so tiny. And I love that. It really feels like a little classic that you read, you know, back in the day. And I love this. It's so cute, and it has like a bookmark in it and everything. The only thing I don't like though about these type of editions is I can't really annotate my book that well. Like when I read, I put my essence in the book. I annotate, I write in it, I underline, highlight, put post-its. Sometimes I even like draw like X's on the pages when I don't like something that's happening. So I really like destroy my books kind of when I read them, because I really want to make them look like I read them. You know, like it's part of the experience to write your thoughts and like highlight and stuff like that. With that, I can't imagine like little tabs poking out of that. No, like it destroys the book, like it destroys the aesthetic of the book. So I didn't annotate. I did, but you can't see it. Like I didn't put tabs, but I wrote in it and I highlighted stuff, but I didn't put tabs. So it's fine, I guess. I can just flip through it and I'll be fine. But yes, so this is a dust jacket. This book was really good, okay? There's something about old romances. They're so classy, they're so old-fashioned. You know, the way that you would flirt with someone back then, like during the Regency era in England, is not the same as today, obviously. And there's something I just love about how classy and like detailed and delicate it is. I just love that so much. They put so much effort back then. They put so much effort, and it should be like that today still. It should still be like that, and it's not, unfortunately. But I still like modern, you know, little silly stories. They're fun. Okay, they're serving. They're doing an amazing job. But I love this. I didn't give it a rating on Goodreads. I don't know why. I think now that I think about it, I would probably give it 3.5 or 4. No, 4. Yeah, I think I would give it 4, because the romance was, I mean, if I compare it to the other books I've read by her, I think this one is, I think I prefer the other ones, but this one is also very good. So I'm hesitating between 3.75. There you go, there you have it, perfect. 3.75 stars. I recommend it. It's super tiny, so if you want to start reading classics, this is good for you, because some classics are huge. You're gonna see that right here, because this is a book I want to read in October. I'm going to show them to you right now. I have a TBR of the fall that's going to be here soon, and also like this is a little bit part of a mini book haul that's going to be in the fall TBR video, but one of these books is also in that. I only have 3 books for October. I'm not going to challenge myself too much, because I know I probably won't stick to it, to be honest. Like I want to have a minimum of books I really want to read, and 2 of them are really thick, as you can see. But yeah, so let's go through them. The first one is the one I'm currently reading that I started like 3 days ago, before like September ended, and it is A Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I'm on page 108, and that's, I think this is gonna be a 6-star read. I should do a video of my 5 stars predictions. I should do that, definitely, but this would be in it. It would be cheating, kind of. I will put it in, because I know for a fact right now, on this day, on the 1st of October 2024, I know this will be a 5-star read, and I really feel so connected to the characters, and this is in World War II. Already books are set in World War II are really often 5-star reads for me. They usually have something in them, and it's set in France, and it's two sisters that resist in a very different way World War II and the German occupation in France, and they resist to it, but in different ways. And in this book you really see how it impacts the family, you know, World War II. And I am European, I'm from Belgium. Belgium was one of the first countries that were occupied by the Nazis back then, and my family went through a lot of things that are happening in this book. And it's crazy because I feel like I'm reading my family's testimony. Like, I won't talk too much about it because I'm gonna save that for my October wrap up, but it's a really strange feeling. Like, I feel like I'm reading some bits of my family's story a little bit, and it's insane. But I think this is going to be a 6-star read probably. I've heard that this is really a sad book. It makes you cry, which I like. I want to feel something, especially for World War II book. Like, what World War II book doesn't make you cry? Honestly, all of them make you cry, all of them. So this is my current read. I'm gonna put this in my October wrap up, and I will definitely be reading this. And then to switch up from, you know, the sad stuff, we have Reckless by Elsie Silver, which is the 4th book of the Chestnut Springs series. It comes right after Powerless. And I forgot to say that Powerless is a hockey romance. I forgot to say that the guy's on a cowboy, he's a hockey player. There, I said it, I'm sorry. But this is a cowboy one, this is a cowboy. And I like the cover. I don't know if it's my favorite cover of all of them, but it's really cute. I like the boots and the hat, and they all have flowers. I just realized the covers. They all have flowers. But yeah. So I'm excited to read this. We've met like at the end of the 3rd book. We've seen the 2 main characters of this book like interacting with each other, and I'm excited. I've heard that this one is really good. I've heard that the main guy in here is a really good character, so I'm excited to read more about this. I have no idea what happens in this book. I just know the social background of the girl there, which is the sister of the main girl in the 1st book, Winter. Their names are Summer and Winter. I don't know what was the idea of their parents, but you know, Summer and Winter, and this is about Winter and Theo Silva, I think. Yeah, Theo Silva, a bull rider, so yes. So I'm excited about this. I don't know what it's about, but I think this is going to be a little fun read of, you know, in between some heartbreaking and deep reads. It's gonna be perfect. Like a little palette cleanser. We need that, right? We always need that. Then this is the last book on my October TBR, I'm sorry. And I'm going to talk more about this in the next video that will be uploaded in my fall TBR. But I really want to read more classics, especially Russian classics. I have seen beautiful things about Russian literature, and I think, like, so many people say they are the best pieces of literature, and apparently they're really beautiful, and I really want to drown myself in Russian literature, and I really want to know more about it. I have 2 books of Russian literature that I got recently, and one of them is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I love the cover. Look at the cover. Just take a second, admire it, please. Pause the video, look at it. Moment of silence for it. Look how beautiful that is. They didn't make a lot of effort on the spine though. I don't know why, but it's so beautiful. I love the fact it looks like a painting. I love it. But this is a really big book, and I think I really cracked the spine just by. Can you see it? No? Good. That's great. But yeah, here you can. I don't care to break my spines. I really don't care. It's fine. But it's written so small. Help me. I've heard so many things about this book. I have a friend who read this book, and she really liked it, so because of her I really want to read this. But I'm excited to read this. I think this is like more like a romance type of thing. I think there are 2 authors there are 2 Russian authors that I really want to read. One of them is Leo Tolstoy, and the other one is Dostoevsky. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Dostoevsky, you see more the city life of Russia back in the day, and here more like the rural life. So I'm happy to have those 2 like aspects of Russian literature with me in my possession. But I will start with this one maybe because I think this is it's like a romance type of thing. So, and apparently you see a lot about the social context. You just see a lot of social background from Russia and a lot of problematics that were happening back then. And I like that. I like classics that really picture perfectly how society, not classics, I just love how like certain books really portray perfectly the picture of a society that was going through something, that was going through just a problematic, and I love when books really picture that perfectly and you understand, you know, what's going on. I don't know anything else about this book. So these 3 books are my part of my October TBR, and I am really excited to read them, especially Nightingale. As soon as I stop recording, I'm going to read because I love this book so much. But I read 4 books in September, and it was a really good reading month. Again, like I said, I would rather read a really small amount of books, but they're good than, you know, to read a lot of books and to not remember what happens in like some of them, or some of them are not good, you know. I would rather have like 3 or 4 really good books. In October, I would like to read 5 books, maybe. I'm gonna try to challenge myself, but again, if I don't reach that, it's okay, nobody cares. So this was my September wrap up and my October TBR, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next video that will come up, which is going to be a fall TBR and a little book haul as well. But stay tuned for it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye! Also, let me know in the comments what books you read this September. Let's chit chat about it. I want to know what you read and what you thought of the books you read. Okay, goodbye!